Good morning, cadets. Today I'll be taking up the poem The Road Not Taken. Let's start the question answers. Question number 1. Discuss the title of the poem The Road Not Taken. Is it appropriate for the poem? Answer. Yes, it is apt because the title of the poem concerns a choice made between two roads by a person walking in the woods. He would have liked to explore both the roads, but he knows that he cannot walk on both the roads at the same time. He chooses the road not traveled on by too many people, and many years later, he feels that all the difference in his life is because of the choice of roads he had made. Question number 2. Why does the poet say, "He shall tell people this with a sigh"? Why do you think the final stanza starts with a sigh? The poet comes to a fork or diversion in the road and decides to walk on the path that looks less walked on. He is, however, wishful of walking on the other road on some other day. He is not sure if his choice has been right one and feels that if someone asks him to justify his choice, he would probably answer him with a sigh. The sigh could signify two things. Either it is a sigh of happiness and contentment at having achieved success in life because of the right choices made at the right time, or it could be interpreted to mean that the sigh is one of regret and sorrow at having made the wrong choice and lost out on a golden opportunity. Question number 3. Bring out the symbolism in the poem The Road Not Taken. The poem is about something more than choices of paths in a road. We can interpret the narrator's choice of road as a symbol for any choice in life between alternatives that appear almost equally attractive. It is only after the passage of years that we can really evaluate the decisions and choices that we make based on the result of these choices. If we find success, the choice is right one. But if the result is failure and painful, then the choice has obviously not been the right one. Question number 4. The road is used as a metaphor for life in this poem. Can you think of another metaphor and explain why that has been used to describe life? Puzzle can be another metaphor for life. Puzzle requires one to constantly keep figuring out the answers, and right after one decision has been made, there are other problems awaiting solution. Similarly, life is full of doubts and questions when we are able to figure out solutions and make decisions accordingly, another predicament often comes up. We are constantly figuring out things, hence, life is a puzzle. Bring out the contrast and similarities between two roads mentioned in the poem. Both the roads mentioned in the poem are the offshoots of the same road. As this mother road running through the Yellowwood forks into two, these two roads are formed. Both of them are equally inviting and put the traveler in a fix as he stands to wonder which road to take up. A keen observation reveals that unlike the other road, one of the road is well trodden or walked more. It has commonly been chosen by the majority of people. Maybe it is considered to be an easier path. However, it takes a turn and its end cannot be seen, just as other roads' destination can be foreseen. In the morning, both the roads are well covered with leaves, as no one has so far ventured on either of the two. Both the road, once chosen, would have to be stuck to. Years later, whichever road is not taken would be looked at wistfully, and one would wonder whether the right choice had been made. Describe the two roads the author finds. One day, during his walk, the poet reaches a point of bifurcation. There were two roads and he had to take only one. He stood there surveying the pros and cons and looked at both the roads with great care. The poet looked at them and till it bent in the undergrowth. He saw the other road was more grassy and needed to be travelled upon. But when he had gone a little ahead, he saw that the other road was also grassy. As the poet who took the road not taken by many people, write a letter to your friend stating how it has made all the difference. So we can write a letter. It's a friendly letter. Dear Keith, as you know that I have established myself as a poet, but this journey of life had not been simple. I must tell you about the day when I was facing a dilemma, confusion, to choose between two roads to walk upon, and I chose the road which was less frequent, leaving the first one for some other day. I knew well that I will not get a chance to look back to it. Now I wish I had taken the first road. But, friend, this is the irony of life. We cannot travel on all the available roads, no matter however we wish to. The basic thing is to make the right choice because after that we cannot undo them. So, when we make a choice, we cannot undo that. We have to walk on it. It is only the future that will reveal whether our decision was right or wrong. Since I took the road less traveled by, it has made all the difference. The outcome is known to you. The rest I will write in the next letter. Your Robin. What is the moral presented by the poet in the poem The Road Not Taken? This is an inspirational poem and quite tricky according to Robert Frost himself. The poem presents an antithesis. The traveler comes to a fork and wishes to take both, which is impossible. First one of the roads is described as grassy and wanted wear. Then he says that both the roads look the same. This represents the eternal dilemma in man when he finds the grass greener on the other side. This poem is a call for the readers to forge his or her way in life and not follow the path that others have taken. So it's a very good example that you should always be a leader and not a follower. This poem encourages self reliance, reinforces the power of independent thinking, and sticking to one's decision. The poet does not moralize about choice. He simply says that choice is inevitable, unavoidable. We have to make choice. And you will never know until you have lived the difference. So there is nothing right or wrong about a choice. Whatever direction one takes, one must pack it with determination and zest, that is enthusiasm, for one can never return or turn the clock back or relive that moment. Why does the poet doubt he should ever come back? This poem is about choices, decisions, and their consequences. It's a fact that once the choice has been made, there is no going back. The traveler standing on the road of life is confronted with a dilemma when both paths or choices look equally promising. Once a road is chosen, the traveler has to move on. There is no rewinding. There would never be a befitting time or opportunity for coming back and exercising the choice again. Time has changed, so has the psychology of the traveler. It will never be the same again. So, one stick to the road one has chosen or taken and make it lead to the destination already decided. So, when you make a choice, then definitely you have to stick to it, continue on the same road. Describe the two roads the author finds. One day, during his walk, the poet reached a point of bifurcation. There were two roads and he had to take only one. He stood there surveying the pros and cons, that is, advantages and disadvantages, and looks at both the roads with great care. The poet looked at the road as far as his eyes could see until it bent in the undergrowth. He saw the other roads are more grassy and needed to be travelled upon. But when he had gone a little ahead, he saw the other road was also grassy. What does the divergence in the road signify in real life? The divergence in the road signifies that many a times in real life we have difficult choices to make. We take a long time thinking about which of the two would be better option, and only time can tell whether we were right in making the choice we made. The fork of one road into two is symbolic of the confusion or dilemma we face in life while confronting a problem and making a decision. Why did the poet stand long on the fork road to make the decision? The poet took a long time to make a decision because he could not foresee which choice would prove to be beneficial for him. As he looked at the road, he could not see beyond a particular point. One road was well trodden, other showed no signs of anyone treading or walking on it. Thus the poet stood there for a long time, undecided which one to experiment with. What impact did the choice of the other road make on the poet's life? While making a choice on the roads, the poet took time deciding which one to take. The poet's choice shaped his life in a different manner. He had a shade of regret about his choice. He knew that life would not be as it was presented if he had taken the other road. Why do you think the poet sighs in the last stanza of the poem? The last stanza reveals that the poet would be telling his story with a sense of regret, as the alternative chosen by him did not yield a satisfactory result. He is not very excited while telling the story of his life, as he feels he had taken the other road. Things would or might have taken a better shape. Hence, the poet sighs with a sense of dissatisfaction in the last stanza of the poem. He says, I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. What is the difference that the poet mentions? The poet says his choice of that particular road has shaped his life in a specific manner with which he is not very happy. Had he chosen the other road, his ambitions and aspirations in life might have been fulfilled, and he would not have looked back with a sense of regret, but he would have been more successful. He has become a poet, he is a well known poet, but he feels that he had two choices and he chose the second road. Next, I would take up a very important topic, that is the literary devices. First literary device is metaphor. Road in the poem is a metaphor of life, while the fork on the road represents the choice we make to determine the course of lives. Similarly, yellow woods are our decision during the hard times. These metaphors are used in the poem emphasize the importance of different decisions we make in different situations. Second literary device is imagery. Imagery is used to make the readers feel through their five senses. The poet has used images of sense of sights such as leaves, yellow woods, and these images help readers to actually perceive things they are reading. The image of road helps readers to visualize the road, providing a navigation route to the traveler. Next device is simile. Simile is a device used to compare things with familiar things to let the readers know it easily. There is one simile, as just as fair. It shows how the poet has linked the road less taken to the easy way through life. Assonance. Assonance is the repetition of vowel sounds such as though, as far as the passing, and in, somewhere, ages and ages hence. Consonance is the repetition of consonant sounds. Two roads diverging in a yellow wood, though as far as passing there. Last one is personification. Personification, road has been personified because it was grassy and wanted wear, as if road is a human and it wants to wear and tear. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you. Have a nice day.